why you're doing it. And when you see why you're doing it, then you're going to be more motivated to do it because you see what's happening in real time. You see how your body's changing through the process of what you're doing. You just got to stay consistent long enough to start to see that change. And that's all you need to keep moving forward and to keep doing it. You know, that's literally the only piece that's missing is a consistent amount of time of you doing this process, lifting the weights, training, and dieting, and staying within your deficit for you to really see some results. Because if you're going back and forth, you lose a little bit and then gain a little bit and lose and gain, it's going to seem like, okay, what am I doing this for? You know, like nothing's changing, nothing's happening. You just got to go through that process of doing it consistently for a period of time to realize why you're putting yourself through these things that you don't naturally like to do normally. But eventually, if you do it long enough, you're going to learn to like it. You know, one more thing with that is that the reason why we usually don't like doing these things is because we're getting dopamine hits and finding joy in something else that's probably a little bit too overstimulating. You know what I mean? It's like, and I
Like what?
realized this. So I'll give you an example. I used to, I still do, but I used to be a huge reader. I used to love to read. And I'm talking about like even just like last year, the year before, like within the last 5 years, like audiobooks every single day, reading, picking up books. Like it would be my natural like inclination. Like when I'm just sitting down, I'll grab a book and read, right? But it got to the point where I started finding, and that was what I enjoyed. That's like what I would do for fun. And it got to a point after a while where I started looking into other things for that same enjoyment. Maybe something that was a little bit more stimulating, you know, or something that was like fun, like social media. I'll start scrolling a little bit more. I'll start like looking at, you know, whether it's basketball or whatever it is that I'm interested in. And it'd just be these little short clips that's just funny or entertaining. And I start sending them to people and they start sending to me and I'm laughing and reacting to the point where that became my new fun for a little period of time. And then I got out of the habit of wanting to read. And I'll pick up a book and it'll be kind of hard to sit there and read that book because I'll be looking for the stimulation of that phone. You know what I mean? And it's like the reason why I stopped liking to read is because I picked up this new habit that's more stimulating and the thing that's actually good for me and the thing that I did enjoy not that long ago, you know. So if we stop doing some of those things, and you got to figure out like what it is, you know, like what the other thing is that you enjoy. Maybe it's like going out to eat or whatever it is that you like, socializing, whatever it is that you find stimulating, and cut back on some of it so that you can build up and find joy and excitement and the things that you're doing right now. Because when we go on that dopamine, it kind of dopamine detoxing basically, start finding that hit and kind of like detox ourselves from those things that are too stimulating so we can hit a baseline and then get back into the things that are actually beneficial because there is joy in that as well. So if we start to find joy in those things that we need to do, you know, or we start doing those things that we need to do, if we do it for a long period of time, eventually we'll like to do those things as well because they are fun. It's just that we're probably being too stimulated by something else.
Yeah.
And we're comparing it to that, saying like, oh, well, this is much more fun over here. Why won't I just do this when what we should be doing is the training, the reading, the exercising, the sleeping, all these things that are naturally fun, you know, and fun is relative, but I'm saying like we can find enjoyment in those things as well. So, you know, we got to figure out what is it that's causing us to not like this thing that is fun to a lot of people, right? What else are we doing that's keeping us from seeing this as a source of fun or a source of enjoyment? Sometimes we're just getting way too stimulated. It's easy to get stimulated today.
Yeah,
Way
for sure.
too easy. Like we don't even got to go outside no more. We can stay in a room and have the time of our lives for hours doing nothing, you know, literally sitting doing nothing. So, you know, that's usually a place that you want to look is like, what am I doing on my day to day that I don't find this task right here fun? Or what could I stop doing to stop being overly stimulated, you know? So,
yeah. No, you're right. That's definitely something to consider. I appreciate it. I really need to research the dopamine detox.
yeah, they got more scientific terms for it and stuff, but you know, that's like the real science.